All right, this is another video. Let's get right into it. Doing some studying, different books again, like I used to do, like I used to do. Catching different films at different time is always the right time. It's the movie called The Seeker. Um, The Seeker. If you ever get your hands on that movie, I seen that about almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Check out The Seeker. Not a very publicized very big budget, but it's a very big budget to me in my eyes because they put the right information in there. So the movie is called The Seeker, and it's a young boy. So a young boy, he just goes on his path. So it's almost like Parzival or anybody going on their journey, like just like you're going on your journey, or like I'm on my journey. You're born on your journey, not when you start to realize. It's just these are certain signals you leave behind for yourself to remember. So it's like you agree to come back here and do what you're supposed to do this work that you're supposed to do. Certain signs are more recognizable or more prevalent to the eye or to the mind. So when I say the I mean the mind, as you. Even like if you're, what I'm saying, if you're on your path or whatever, if you're a highly melanated person, so-called black person, this is mainly for you. Because we don't get all our information. We created all this information, but we forgot it all. We bump our heads. It's like the movie, The Iron Giant. He had this bump on his head because he forgot everything, what he was supposed to do or what he's supposed to be. Just like in Nordic mythology, they have giants too. So these are like the what you are in your mind, or the like in Nordic mythology they call them the giants. Those are in the actually is inside your brain. You'll see the same thing on the movie called Jack the Giant Slayer. If you ever get your hands on that movie, check it out. They're actually breaking down everything inside the head too also. So check those movies out too also if you can. It helps you 222 just pass. Just look down, I always see numbers. So that's a powerful day. It's actually very, very close to us. So remember that. But anyway, that means February 22nd. That'll be what, this Monday, this coming Monday. Powerful day. But yeah. So the Giants. Um, so inside the Giants, they're looked at as the great old ones, or in the Necronomicon. Check that out. It's like if you get the Avon versions of Necronomicon, you have H.P. Lovecraft. He did his certain books that he had, like he would come out with back in the day. H.P. Lovecraft is a author of certain books that been made to film. Um, Also one movie I recently got to see, Color Out of Space. Um, what's his name? Forget the author. Forget the actor's name. Nicolas Cage is in that film, and you can actually see the top of the casing of the movie. I think I don't remember. I'm not sure if it went to the theaters or not, but I know I saw it on DVD and I seen H.P. Lovecraft's name on it, so I went ahead and got it. So, but yeah, check out the Necronomicon, but go get the Avon books if possible. They have all the rituals, the hand signals, and what certain things mean. Um, I would say get the Necronomicon. They have a spell book, and I had almost a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago, I found the gates of the Necronomicon. So put those three together, and you'll have something, very powerful. I will say that the gates of the Necronomicon by Simon. It's on Avon Books. That's the publisher's name. So the gates of the Necronomicon, the regular Necronomicon is red and black, and the Necronomicon spell book. So the Necronomicon spellbook, I will go ahead and probably just save you some money. That's actually the actual 50 names that come along that you can use for yourself too. Also, you actually find those in the small Avon Necronomicon book, not the gates of the Necronomicon. That's actually more telling you how to reach go navigating what certain things mean in these different mythologies. So that's what mainly this video is about. So let's get right into it. This video is about mythology. So Necronomicon, or was in Persia or Samaria, in that area, which is all coming up on the eastern hemisphere, right? So how do you say be more right brain? The western hemisphere is more looked at as the left. But if you look at it the way you look at it. So how I would tell you is look at all forms of mythology. I always, when people talk to me, I guess they think it's just some big funny mystery. I'm trying to be funny or something. I tell them to look at mythology, all types of mythology, especially of course only mainly our people, highly melanated people or so-called black people. And also, before I keep going, there's a book you can check out called The Necronomicon. It's edited. It's the book. It says the Book of the Dead Names. Let me see. Scoob Esoterica came out with this book. Scoob Press. So the esoteric side of Scoob, they came out with this book, and also Colin Wilson did the introduction to it. And there's also a state. I'm not trying to be everywhere. I'm trying to give information and remember at the same time. I don't want to forget anything to help somebody. I'm actually looking for it right now. I actually don't really see it in front of me, but it's actually called the Relay Text, and it's by School Press 2. Also, you can use those all together, and it's like those are like the novel versions, or like the I would say more of the dates you would get dealing with these books and certain things that was going on or happening along those times. But if you want to deal directly with the Necronomicon, I would say time wise, time don't exist really, but time wise, 7-Eleven just passed. Let's just look down magic. Magic is strong. The Gates of the Necronomicon by Simon and the regular Necronomicon, put those two together, you got you something right there. So you really don't have to get the other ones I just named, but those two, that's like the power in them, because it's like what mythology. So go get any types of mythology you can get your hands on, and notice certain characters, how they how they correlate, and how they have different names or different locations, but some of their story is the same. So that's how you can put the whole thing together. So that's why I made this video, putting it together through mythology. I'm gonna try to remember to make that the title of this video. So now, pillars. Pillars. Now we, yeah, I'm like I love this shit. I do. I truly love this shit. I love this shit. So pillars. Now, they have the, I would say pillars. They look at it as, when you see a pillar, now, let me pause this real quick and get my thoughts together because I'm excited. I'm all over the place. Hold on. All right, back. So, all right, slowing down, breathing. Pillars, as in, most people will say they'll see the obelisk. You'll see it in Rome. You'll see it in Kemet or Kim or Egypt. What they call it Egypt now. Was the original name was Kemet or Kim, means the land of the black people, or land of the black. Um, Also, you'll find that you see one in Washington D.C. You'll see an obelisk out there too. Also, you see obelisks a lot of every place. You'll even go to different parts of different cities and see obelisks. But most people don't look at it. Most people, they always look at it as the ground, as in the body, and you resurrect, as in the story of Isis and or let me see, Isis and Orion. Or excuse me, Isis and Osiris. That's what Osiris, which is Orion, but Osiris, or um, Asar and Aset. So those are the African names, or Kebulon names. in Kemet they originally had. So, but like I said, with mythology in Greek, they called them Isis and Osiris. So that's why you have different names, but there's just different versions of different stories of the same story. So when you put these different mythologies together, you actually putting yourself together. So, like I always say, I tell people through these movies, in various forms, entertainment, comic books, video games, cartoons, whatever it is, they have like a the people that's in Hollywood have a certain contract that they have in order to control certain things, they have to be able still to put this information out, but in a disguised way, as if it's entertainment. So to make you think it's entertainment, they'll have a lot of explosions or a lot of action scenes or whatever, but you really got to listen to what they say. And I learned that, and I always, say where I get certain things from, so you can go behind me, and if you see the same person saying it, it wasn't me that came up with it, because everybody has an ego, but in order to keep your ego in check and use it when you want to, that's real power. So the person I got that from was Bobby Hemmett. He's a teacher. So he actually used the Necronomicon like in the early '90s, when early '90s, and was doing different things and going into different types of mythologies, and you can see that throughout his videos. So that's where I got that from. So that's why after I heard that, I never looked at movies or any type of entertainment I got as in me being entertained. Is always something underlying behind it. So that means the occult, not cult, C-U-L-T, occult, O-C-C-U-L-T, that which is hidden. Okay? So if that which is hidden, they're going to. Now, you hear the siren that just went off. All right, it's chaos. So, anyways, keep it going. So when you anyway, this always happens. So when you have entertainment, that which is hidden, you have to dig through what these characters' names and what they're doing, and you'll find there's an underlying meaning behind it. Just like you go through mythology, they're making these movies and whatever they're making, whatever types of entertainment they're making it for a reason, to hide mythology. So that means the occult side of the mythology, to learn what these characters means. So these characters are looked at as deities, or some people call them God, but deities or netters is actually an older name than the actual word name God. So, but which I got from this name, the acronym of God, I got from the C. Freeman L. He's no longer in the physical body anymore, but he's always around. So he would say, C. Freeman L. You can check him out too online on YouTube. He said generator, operator, and destroyer. That's the acronym for God, God. So that's how you can look at yourself. Say you generate a job, you operate this job, and you do this to a high maximum um, of your ability at that job or whatever. And then you destroy it. You no longer, or either employed, or you find something else to do, because you've done it. Either you've become bored, or you wanted something else to do with your time. So that's nothing short of a generator, operator, and destroyer, which is, I know you can spell. So I just use the word deity for myself. So so I brought up the part earlier about pillars. So they always have you feel like it's the body, as in, of course, there's we have two pillars. You know, females have two of the correct pillars, but the males, we only have one. We're actually from women, so they have two X chromosomes. We only have one X chromosome. That's in our head. Women have one in between their legs and between their head. Okay, and they both look the same, like a pine cone, or um, the part of a pine cone. If you look at it, or a piece of corn, that's how they look. Or and another thing, you can use, I would say, pineapple juice. Okay. I will explain why right now, because notice, if anybody, we all mature people here. If you end up having sex and your lady is drinking a lot, or male, if we drink a lot of, if you drink a lot of pineapple juice, you say, man, you taste sweet, or you have a different taste to you. Well, that's the pineal. The pineapple juice is actually works with your pineal gland. So these things aren't named these things for no reason. If I'm reading this book how like the people, we named everything. When we named it, we gave it a name for its purpose. So that's the same thing. So so if you drink pineapple juice, it's actually helping with your pineal gland too also. Anyway, so the pillars. So that pillar is your pineal gland. Okay. The other so when they have obelisk around the world, they're not just looking at it as, because the male's penis and the pineal gland is connected from the head all the way down to in between the legs, just like the females is, but hers is inside. That's why it's two. They have two X's, because the one in the head, the pineal gland is inside, and the pineal gland in between the legs, it folds out on the inside of the vagina, but it sits outward. But ours goes out like the letter Y. We have one X and one Y chromosome. So that's how we have to look at it. That's how we look at it. That's always a good way to explain it. And to show who's the perfect walking on the earth is the dark goddess, or the highly melanated woman, or the so-called black woman. So now that's why I brought up mythology. So the pineal gland, if you now you have, like, I had a video, I was talking about brain fluid. Now if you're able to, as a male, do sperm retention, retain your sperm instead of coming or releasing the fluid, I'm telling you, as in, I always say, people just, when I said earlier, people think when I tell them reading mythology, that actually helps, because you're actually building yourself up. And these are actually deities you're losing when you give out that fluid. That's why I said before, men or males, we always end up dying before the female. If it's nothing tragic, we die way before the females, because we always told to come. Why are we always told to come? Because we told to come, because that's like, oh, you want to feel good. That's how it feels to be a deity. When you're coming like that, it's only a few milliseconds or some seconds. You feel it. But think about it like this: when you have an orgasm, like a female does, you internalize that and you have that same feeling. So all you're doing is feeling that energy or that buzz, how you would feel it, and you're not losing that energy. And it actually goes back up your spine into your brain. Real shit. I mean, I've really learned this, how to do this, through Bobby Hemmett, talking through his lectures. But also, there's a book you can get. I might show I'm gonna show the front cover of it too. Modern Sex Magic: Secrets of Erotic Spirituality by Donald Michael Craig. Boom. Now, as you can see right here, this is the vesica. Okay, what does that look like? Okay, that is what? The vagina, or what we call on the streets the pussy. The pussy. Okay, that there you go. Modern Sex Magic: Secrets of Erotic Spirituality by Donald Michael Craig. Okay. I've gotten to a good distance about a few years ago, and I've actually kind of been picking up other books and reading mythologies and stuff, and I haven't really got back into it. So I got like into a little bit of it, and the stuff that I learned, it really helped me out a lot. It like works. So like the stuff that Bobby Hemmett was talking about, I can actually verify what they're saying in this book. So if you can, get your hands on a lot really fast, because what I've come to notice when I say certain, like, I'm not trying to be like him at all, trust me, but what I'm trying to say is, when I say certain books on here, I've been noticing them getting vanished very fast. So get your hands on it and make use. So Now, so that's what spiritual work is, actual sex magic, or is actually having using sex, but actually your magic. You're married before you actually go to a judge, and that's actually something dealing with binding you by law. Okay, but you actually, if you have sex before then, or whatever, you already spiritually connected alchemically through your um the liquids or whatever you have in coming from your from each other. When you put those two together, that's alchemy. Putting whatever, like different stones or different, if you mixing up different herbs, you're a herbologist, but it's just alchemy. You different mixing different things together like a cook or whatever. That's alchemy, which is a different way of looking at it. So I wanted to say male. That's why I say I made this video. Females too, also not just males, but I wanted to say get into mythology as much as you possibly can. When I talk to people, when some people they look at me like he ain't telling me everything. I'm like that's what I'm telling you. That's what most of your power is. And it sounds so simple, but the people that really take to it or hear what I'm saying, take heed to what I'm saying, I'm being honest and truthful with you. Read you some mythology. When you do, that's actually whatever. When you don't lose that fluid internally, males, when you don't lose it, that's actually going back up your spine, back into where your brain fluid is. You actually making those giants strong again, or stronger. So that's you making yourself stronger, and your ancestors inside you too also. So if they're inside you, it's just versions of yourself that you can't see, but it's just inside. As within, so without. As above, so below. So that's the hidden side. Like they say, the dark side of the moon or the dark side of the Kabbalah. That's where Doth is. That's the most powerful part of yourself is Doth. That's where all the melanin is. I don't know everything about it, but the parts I learn. I mean, it do make sense. So Bina is like the understanding, learning about these different mythologies actually helps the understanding of yourself in retaining and actually making yourself stronger. So the more you know about these are different continents. So when there are different continents, you like if the Earth was one time put together, and then it breaks apart. That means you got to go and get all these different types of mythologies and put them back together. So you putting yourself back together is making yourself more of a deity. So I found something else all out too, but I'm some things I can't really say on here. So I can so like, but that's not going to be anything detrimental that I'm keeping information from the people I'm giving information to. I'm saying is I understand what certain things that happen and how certain people get people get wiped out and killed at a mass rate. I understand what that is about, but so I'll just say that. But I'll just say I'm only also want to give a physical example of what I'm talking about. So we become a bridge. You be like, a bridge? Yeah. So like think about it like this. A pyramid is like they say the movie Stargate. They had the Stargate was what? The pyramid, right? So you have your two eyes, physical eyes, are the bottom of the pyramid, right? And then your pineal gland that is inside your head, underneath the brain, which is the illusion. Everything around you, that's underneath the brain. So that if it's on top of it, means it's like what straddling and it's riding the pineal gland. You're navigating. So the face of God is the face of the pineal gland, right? So that's even in the Bible. Okay, but God said, "Thou shalt have no other God before me." That He don't want you to raise yourself up. Remember in all those the Zeus movies, something of the gods. It was Zeus and Hades, their brothers or whatever. They needed calamity for people to pray to them, right? So they can get power. Just like when you give your money in church or whatever, you giving energy to that energy that you use to make that money to something that you can't see, but it's actually looking out for you. But when you stop doing it, that's actually when you actually becoming. You say, "Fuck this! I decide to become deity, my damn self." And when you have understanding of that, and while you're reading about all these different types of mythology, you're actually making yourself a stronger deity or a stronger self. Okay, be the best version of yourself. So remember these. these pillars or the pineal gland is actually your Stargate. So if it's your Stargate, they never built pyramids. They can't do it to this day with their hands. These are my ancestors. I can from seeing different things and putting certain things together. You become who you're supposed to be, and when you become who you're supposed to be, start to get to realizing certain things. So the the actual Stargate is actually a way of transporting. They were actually making um, pyramids through their minds. They never had to touch anything. So why would you think they would have to say they would make these Hebrews build pyramids to make them seem like they were actually in time like that? They wasn't up in Kemet or um, out in I wouldn't even say that. They weren't even out in Ethiopia, because we have Ethiopia, our cousins, or Ethiopia in Egypt or Kemet. They're family members. So while we make, of course, they wouldn't make family members build something they wouldn't build. So we have people that's trying to put themselves in a time frame where they never even existed. They were up in Europe. They're even so-called Jews or Ashkenazi Jews. They were in Ukraine. So let's keep it real. I do the studies on it. I'm doing my studies on this stuff and looking at certain things. But yeah. So I'm gonna get back to what I'm talking about. So I know it's a lot. He's everywhere, right? But I would just say, just if you need to go back on certain things, just go back and go get the books too, also, and look at different types of mythology, and you can actually turn those characters into deities that you can use for libations if you like. So and also so they were transporting things to make physical pyramids. So they didn't make pyramids for us just to be watching and looking at them. They made them to show that you're walking pyramids. Your mind and your physical eyes are part of the illusion, but you got to see through the illusion, the veil, that which is go to that which is hidden, and there's always an underlying meaning behind everything. So I don't want to get too far along in this video. I want to go ahead and show you something too also. So my ship, this is one of the oldest right here. They said one of the oldest primes is Sentinel Prime. My ship, we came under fire. The name of his ship was called the Ark. The Ark is what looked at as, remember, Noah's Ark. He had two of each. So they're talking about the right brain and the left brain. They say the right brain is female and the left brain is male. So, but if you know who your guardian self is, you're actually facing yourself in Nordic mythology. And so that's why I say look at different mythology. You learn about the mythology, and there are certain ways they will teach in certain things. So when you look at, you're actually guarding yourself is pushing you into a version of yourself that you're supposed to look like, but you're actually facing yourself. So that if you're facing yourself, you're using your left as your right. So, but the arc inside your head, the controller of the boat or this vessel is you. You, the pineal gland. I'm gonna show you. Okay, the pineal gland, the eye of God. All right, this is a part of a book. This is chapter 16 of Manly P. Hall's book, Man, the Grand Symbol of the Mysteries. Okay, they say the eye of God, just like in the Bible, say the face of God is the God pineal. Okay, the pineal gland is, as you can see, the pineal gland is situated in the floor of the transverse fissure of the cerebrum, directly below the splenium of the corpus callosum. As you can see right here, let's see if we can get it. You can see it right there. Right, see, this is the brain will be covering it, and right below on the floor. Now you guys see the skull right here, but this is the pineal gland. So they cut the part of the brain so you can actually see where the pineal gland would be at, right in the middle, right underneath the brain. So that means the illusion is on top of you. All right, everything a part of the illusion. God makes everything part of the illusion. So for you to become your ultimate deity is become your highest and best version of yourself. So they always compare it to what the lizard eye, or it's after the New Zealand lizard. So the lizard is what they always say. I have two videos saying how the guy that works for the British intelligence, he's wrong. David Icke, he's wrong. But anyway, let me show you what I'm going to show you. The pillars. Where are the pillars? A teleportation device. Just like if you watch the movie Stargate, the same thing. We got to get our minds together to get back to where we need to be at. It's more to show. The Decepticons actually are really the good guys, really, but we just looked at it backwards. Remember, Metatron is Megatron or Metatron or Melchizedek. Pay attention. The Decepticons around the world launched the pillars. They're showing you spiritual places. This is the Temple of Angkor Wat. As you see, I have a picture of the Temple of Angkor Wat, too, also is in Asia. These are different temples, all the pillars they're pulling up. So what I'm telling you is go ahead and get all the mythology you can get from all around the world and put them together and make yourself stronger. If you're making yourself stronger, you're gonna be it's a lot of fake people out here. Not like, oh, you being fake or real. I mean fake as in clone. Don't be one of those people that's not getting information, because the earth is spiritually changing, and you're supposed to change spiritually with it. So if you're gonna be left out, you're gonna be one leaving. So the ones that's left behind are the one that's actually doing the work. Build your mythology inside your mind, and you're building yourself up, because it's a spiritual war happening, and you don't want to be the one that's, because I'm not coming back here again ever to this third dimensional plane. We're supposed to be here to destroy this, just like the Decepticons are here to destroy. They brought in they brought in another world, the next world, which is Sirius C. As you can see, Cybertron, they're trying to bring in Cybertron. Cybertron is Sirius C. That's another world. That's where we're from, Sirius. So if you're bringing in Sirius C, that means you got to be powerful enough to bring that in. He said, hurry. They're triggering the pillars. They're trying to stop people from getting information. Get as much information as you can